certain people I've talked to there. But as time goes on, I mean, I have never thought about deleting Instagram. But like today, I feel like I'm on the edge of it. I'm like, what does it do for my channel? Because first off, this is one thing I've noticed about Instagram. I just have noticed my account has just never really grown, and it's been like an invitation to spam, to be honest, like one type of spam that I have a lot of people that they think I'm going to pay them to promote my account, and then they just come to me and they're like, oh, like, you're not crushing it on Instagram, like you could pay us and we could promote your account more. And I'm like, you know what, that's fine. I like what I post there. If I don't have a large following on Instagram, I never will. I'm not gonna pay to have a large following there. Like, that makes no sense to me. Another thing that has just kind of been my annoyance with Instagram was years ago people were like, you need to be on there so we could message you. And I'm like, why? I don't understand. And I think, okay, I'm gonna get into a little bit of this whole both men and women judgmentality, gossip, just things like that. And this isn't, it's related, but it's not related. So I've noticed something about my account. Like, I don't have, like, there's certain long hair ladies, they have a lot of women that comment on their account, and I don't. Like, I have more men, which is fine, but I think even the women who have, you know, more women commenting on their account than men, I know they still have a largely male audience, because even if somebody's more of a DIY channel, we still know, like, a lot of guys watch, you know. It's just, if you look at the demographics, okay? So we see, like, statistically speaking, actually, one reason I have leaned heavily into shorts on my channel is because I feel like, yeah, it's kind of mixed up, like, having more men than women, like, being a little bit more women, at least, watching my channel. I feel like I've had more women commenting on my channel than men. And then I kind of wanted to get into this whole Instagram thing where I don't believe in gossip, and I'm not calling anybody out, but if you come to my channel and or my Instagram page, all right, and you're messaging me and I'm not responding, like, usually I will block a lot of people, but I finally had to block a guy today who's into gossip, okay? Because he told somebody else that we talk about these topics. And then the other person, and no shade to them, nothing against them, but they basically seemed like more worried that we might be talking about a spicy topic than the fact that some weirdo on the internet was, like, messaging people he doesn't know, saying something. And I would be like, hey, like, oh, this person said things that made me feel uncomfortable about you. They said, oh, I'm just glad to get confirmation from you that you weren't talking about those topics. Well, okay, let's get into girls girl, pick me, and other topic, Madonna horror. Okay, this is a problem with both men and women, judgmentality. First off, I'm not one of those creators who also has one of those hidden links some women do, okay? So let's say, and there are some women, like long hair community, like there's a big long hair DIY lady, okay? And I've looked at her page and I found out recently she doesn't publicize it, but yeah, she has a, like, one of those spicy pages, and she's a big, like, DIYer, and she has a lot of women that comment on her account. And I just, like, would men be messaging her saying things like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you do that? Like, would they treat her bad because she has a page like that? That's her business. I don't care what she does, you know. That's fine, she's making money, whatever, she can do what she wants to do. But it just begs me to question, like, I don't know if people know how the internet works, but there are a lot of people in every genre that you watch that might have those pages that actually write out do spicy content as opposed to maybe just talk about it. Like, I'm just wondering, like, and of course men are going to go look at it. Don't tell me that they don't. So, I don't know. Don't pretend to be surprised that people do these things. I'm just saying, but it seems like, once again, on the men, this is where men are going to get a big, giant no. I know you guys look at that stuff. Yes, you do. Especially if you're in the hair fetish. I know you do. Even if you pretend to be, like, bothered by it, I know you look at it. I know you search it up. Don't pretend with me, okay? I know you guys do that. So, yeah, I just, like, whatever. If you don't like it, don't look at it. But I wonder, do you guys judge the women that do that stuff? Because here's the thing. I'm not saying that people should do that, but you don't know their story. Maybe YouTube's just not making enough money for them anymore. Maybe they never got the sponsorship deals that they wanted. So maybe they do that. Have you thought about that? Or maybe that's their creative side. Or maybe they were always into modeling. I don't know. Like, you don't know. You really don't know. So, yeah, I think it's better, like, to just, like, not wonder about what people are doing, or even if they are doing something that you don't like, just don't do that. And then I guess I'm going to have I just want to talk also about reaction videos. I just see more of that. Like, if somebody has any kind of situation in their life, you don't agree with it, you don't like it, maybe it's better not to comment on it, I think. Honestly, because you don't know what they're going through, and if their personal safety is, like, at stake, maybe it's better you don't comment on something that they're doing. I don't know. There's just a lot of things. That's where I'm going to get on the men, okay? So I think that the men, like, are really into this Madonna whoring of the women, and they're going to pretend like it doesn't happen, but they do it, and it happens. It really does happen. Men still do that. Not all men, very balanced men that are within their rational being, like men that I highly respect, they don't do that. But there are guys that do that, and I don't know. I can't really say, like, what the motivation of somebody is, like, when they message me about something or where they're coming from, but that's just, like, that's kind of, like, I'm just throwing that out there. Maybe it's not like what somebody would be talking about, or even if they did, like, let's say somebody has, like, they do stuff like that, like spicy stuff, like, and you didn't know. Some of you guys probably don't know, and I would never, like, because of, like, I don't know, like, the way people are judgy, I would never say how, like, I found out that there was a big hair content creator who had a page like that. I would never tell anybody who it is. Like, she's not on Instagram, I don't think, anyway. I don't know. And I think she's happy with it. She just doesn't publicize it. And I totally get why, because, yeah, I'm sure she'd get a lot of hate. She probably doesn't care, though. I don't think she's a more sensitive type. But it just makes me think, like, I personally, yeah, you don't need to go messaging people. You don't need to troll stalk. You don't need to, like, speculate about what people are doing. Like, honestly, I'm just living my own life. Personally, I'm not, like, promoting those things personally. But if somebody else does those things, that's their life, okay? Just don't engage with it. Like, if it offends you on some level, or you're worried about, like, people being spicy, I don't know. Don't do it. Like, but I sometimes think these guys who pretend to be very bothered by these things, they do it in secret, you know, the whole Madonna whore thing. And that's just my thought. And then I also had a topic for the ladies, the whole pick me versus girls girl. Like, everybody is just so judgmental. Like, this whole thing, okay, this doesn't even really apply to Instagram per se, but I've been seeing this whole thing lately where some people like, oh, she's a pick-me girl because she's not a girl's girl, and she says that she could maybe be friends more with a man than women, because women can sometimes be judgmental, and girls, they can get along with women. And I'm not saying that everybody feels that way, but I feel like there's a little bit of a maybe generalization. But yeah, I do feel like that's another thing. Like, I just don't get it. Why is everybody just creating all these camps for each other? Like, I'm in this camp, you're in that camp, we're better, they're not as good as us. I'm like, we need to let the whole pick me versus girl thing go away. Women really do need to be more supportive of each other. I've come to the conclusion that any women that are talking about pick me girls, maybe have they bullied a woman that isn't like socially like inclined, that might do things that are not part of like a group dynamic, like who might be not wanting to be in a group, and I don't know, maybe she says, oh, I'm more of a tomboy, or she does something that makes her not, I don't know, as popular with a group of women. I wonder. And then to say that you're a girl's girl, why do you need to say that? I do think girl's girl. Yeah, like, no, get over this stuff, you know? I do think, this is my thought, like, if you're using any of that terminology, you should maybe stop. I don't think we need to be putting each other in camps like that, but I do still watch some videos that people post, but anytime I see those things come up on the feed, I just try to distance myself from it, because I feel like it plays into gossip. It plays into a little bit of trolling, spilling the tea. I don't know. So what is my whole thought about everything at the end? Who really cares what other people are doing? Do you care? Like, why are you so up in arms about it? And like, have you been living in our modern era? Like, do you not know? Like, there are people that do like the spicy things, and if you guys judge them, I don't know. I feel sad for you, because I know a lot of you probably look at that stuff and maybe you feel guilty that you look at that stuff. So, I don't know, you Madonna whoring women that do that stuff, even though you look at that stuff, I don't know. And I'm not saying anybody in particular, but that's kind of my vibe that I'm getting from this. Like, yeah, it's murky. I would just say, if somebody like says something about somebody, maybe you should say, you know what, that's uncomfortable. I don't like that. That's weird. And if somebody was talking bad about someone, I'd probably let them know and say, hey, you know what, this makes me feel uncomfortable because they're talking bad about you. That's it. Like, because what if it was like, if you're an adult, maybe you should think, maybe sometimes people were friends and I would feel weird if like somebody like went and told people things about people. Not that I'm friends with anybody that I've just met on Instagram, but like, let's say like I'm friends with like a couple of people, but I'm just saying I don't have like these friendly messaging relationships with people like that. Like, I don't know. But if some people did, it's kind of bordering on stalking if another commenter goes and messages them and says, hey, guess what you're doing? I don't know. I feel very uncomfortable, and then I'm not deleting Instagram, but geez Louise, some of the behavior that people engage in makes you think, this is why we like TikTok better. I like TikTok better. Instagram, you're kind of making me wonder, do I even want to stay with you? I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for watching.